Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.
You're watching South Asia Newsline and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 7th of February. NDA MPs from Bihar felicitate PM Modi for budget announcements for state. India condemns vandalism of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's residence in Dhaka. And Sri Lankan President meets IMF delegation ahead of budget. And now for all the details. Around 30 Bihar MPs from BJP, JDU and other parties of NDA met Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Parliament on Friday. The MPs felicitated the Prime Minister for the budget announcements for their state. With assembly elections scheduled for November this year, Bihar received significant attention in the budget. With assembly elections scheduled for November this year, Bihar received significant attention in the budget. Finance Minister Sitaraman announced the expansion of Patna Airport, the establishment of 4 new greenfield airports and the construction of a brownfield airport at Bihta. Notably, Bihar was mentioned multiple times in Sitaraman's budget speech. Sitaraman had said in her budget speech that greenfield airports will be facilitated in Bihar to meet the future needs of the state. These will be in addition to the expansion of the capacity of Patna Airport. Meanwhile, opposition MPs on Friday held a protest in the Parliament complex against Sri Lanka continuing to arrest Indian fishermen and demanded that the government find a permanent solution to the issue. The protest was led by DMK, Congress and Left Party MPs from Tamil Nadu and joined by parliamentarians from several other opposition parties. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on Thursday held telephonic conversation with his American counterpart Pete Hegseth after his confirmation as the US Secretary of Defense. In a statement, the Indian side said during the telephonic conversation, both leaders reviewed the extensive India-US defense cooperation activities and reaffirmed their commitment to deepening ties. The statement further said that both ministers also agreed to work together to draft a comprehensive framework on defense cooperation for the period of next 10 years. This comes in the run-up to Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Washington next week. Media reports suggest during the visit, both sides are likely to sign defense deals with US President Donald Trump, emphasizing the importance of India increasing its procurement of American-made security equipment and moving towards a fair bilateral trading relationship. India on Thursday condemned the vandalism of Bangladesh's founding leader Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's residence in Dhaka, calling the act regrettable. In a statement, India's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal called Mujib as the symbol of the heroic resistance of the people of Bangladesh against the forces of occupation and oppression and said it was regrettable that his residence was destroyed on February 5th. He added, those who value the freedom struggle that nurtured Bangla identity and pride are aware of the importance of this residence for the national consciousness of Bangladesh. This act of vandalism should be strongly condemned, he added. The reaction by India comes a day after a mob vandalized the residence of Rahman in Dhaka over the speech of Rahman's daughter and ousted PM Sheikh Hasina, in which she urged her supporters to stand against the interim government led by Muhammad Yunus. While the government is yet to take action over the vandalism, the interim government's foreign ministry has lodged a protest with India over Hasina's speech, calling it false and fabricated. In a protest note handed to India's diplomatic mission in Dhaka, the foreign ministry said such statements are hurting the sentiments of the people in Bangladesh and requested New Delhi to take appropriate measures to stop Hasina from making such statements while she is in India. Pakistan external financing needs will remain significant in the coming year despite progress in rebuilding its foreign exchange reserves, Fitch Ratings said on Thursday. The South Asian nation needs to repay over $22 billion in external debt in the fiscal year 2025, including nearly $13 billion in bilateral deposits, Fitch said. Securing sufficient external financing remains a challenge, considering large maturities and lenders' existing exposures, said the credit ratings agency. Last month, the country agreed on a $1 billion loan with 2 Middle Eastern banks at a 6 to 7% interest rate, its finance minister told Reuters. To address its external financing needs, Fitch said Pakistan needs to continue implementing structural reforms, including those related to fiscal consolidation and improving its business environment. Pakistan is currently undergoing reforms under a $7 billion IMF program, which is up for its first review later this month. A comprehensive discussion regarding the progress of the extended fund facility agreed with the IMF took place in Colombo on Thursday between Sri Lanka's President Anurakkumara Dissanayake and an IMF delegation. The current government has already reached a staff-level agreement with the IMF on the third review of a 4-year program. The details of this review are expected to be presented to the IMF's Board of Directors by the end of this month. Upon approval, IMF will release the fourth tranche of the extended loan amounting to $333 million. The meeting comes as the new government is set to present its first full-year budget on February 17 after Dissanayake was elected as president in November. Dissanayake, who is also the finance minister, has outlined plans to reduce income taxes, increase welfare and give relief to businesses. However, he will have to balance fulfilling election promises with a key IMF target of posting a primary surplus of 2.3% of GDP in 2025. Asserting that sovereignty of the Maldives is the highest on agenda, President Mohammad Muizzu has said his foreign policy aims to strengthen ties with developing countries and the country will prioritize its neighbors. President Muizzu's remarks were among the several issues he dealt with while delivering the presidential address at the opening session of the People's Majlis for 2025. Muizzu assured that country's foreign policy aims to strengthen ties with developing countries with peace as the state's top priority. The statement comes weeks after he sought the withdrawal of Indian defence personnel from the archipelago nation and a day after he declared that the Maldives will maintain autonomous control over all its territories including maritime, aerial and terrestrial domains, apart from enhancing Maldives' capabilities for conducting underwater surveys. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.
Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.